Yeah, peace. We got another day, man. We got another day. Today is Saturday. Today is the 10th. Lord bless, man. A lot of things is taking place all over the world. That dog died, the Queen of England. Yeah, that's what I said, the dog. The Queen of England. These people are no more than dogs, man, in the eyes of the Lord. You know, you got to understand that. You got to know the scriptures, man. Not going to your feelings, how you feel, how you think. That's not what the Bible is talking about. The Bible is talking about knowledge. The Bible is talking about truth. John 4, verse 24. They that worship the Lord must worship him in spirit and in truth. John 8, verse 32. Okay, the Savior said, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Christ is the truth. Christ is the scriptures. Christ is the light. So what the Bible says is fact, not how you feel, what you think, your little emotions and so forth like that. That's not what counts. Knowledge now becomes food, okay? And food sustains you. Food builds you up. Food, flushes you. So like this here is coconut juice, coconut water. Now, but it's coconut water compared to regular water. It's giving me my vitamins, my mineralites. So the things of knowledge is of the truth. So, what we're dealing with is the truth. We're dealing with knowledge. We're dealing with reading. And you have to read to sustain yourself. I notice that a lot of people don't read, okay? A lot of people have the Bible, but they don't read it, okay? They think that if they touch it, put their hands on it, that somehow it's going to save them. It's going to give them a miracle. And a lot of people are one verses. What do I mean by one verse? They only know one verse, a couple of verses, and they believe those verses. Those things don't help you with the Bible. The Bible is a very vast and immense book dealing on knowledges. So I got my young man here, and once again, I study on the one book, the King James Bible. So let's see what happens. Good.
Peace, bro, Lester.
Yeah, man. What's going on, TJ?
Yeah, by the way, I seen you got a shit ton of books right here.
Yeah.
Where are they about, and how do you relate to you in the Bible?
Well, the first book I got here is How the Bible. This book is a very great book, How We Got the Bible Made Easy. So what this does is it explains to you how this book in your hand came into existence. Okay? So it explains to you timelines. Okay? It explains to you who wrote books, the different authors of the different records. Like if you go in the book of Psalms, right? David wrote 73 Psalms. Stop because it's shaking. David wrote 73 Psalms. Asaph wrote 12 Psalms. The sons of Korah wrote 11 Psalms. And there are other writers. So there's 150 Psalms in the Bible. So everybody thinks that David wrote all the Psalms. So from this book, I began to study now about the Bible. So let's look at Proverbs. Solomon and others. Solomon didn't write all the Psalms. Let's look at Ecclesiastes. Unknown, possibly Solomon. Song of Songs, possibly Solomon. Jonah wrote that. So all these now help me to understand. Let's further go into this, right? It breaks stuff down. It also gives you lies, but it breaks down stuff down. So it goes, why do some Bibles have extra books, right? So it says, flip open a Catholic Bible and you can quickly notice there's a different list of books than in the Bibles at the Baptist church down the road. Instead of 39 Old Testament books, you count 46. If it's an Eastern Orthodox Bible, you count even more books. Why do so many Bibles have these extra books? See, so it breaks that down. Right? And the different councils that came into existence, the reading of these books, right? So it gives you pictures. It broadens your scope tremendously if you're really studying the Bible. How do we get the New Testament? So a lot of people believe in the New Testament, but if you ask them questions about the New Testament, they have no clue. Okay? So it also gives you who wrote the different records in the New Testament, right? Paul is the greatest writer of the New Testament, right? Paul wrote Galatians. Let's see. So Paul wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Paul wrote 13 records in the New Testament. See that? The greatest writer. So then it gives you the history in about 10 minutes, the time span of the Bible. So this is a great compound, is telling you about the changes, the different versions of the Bible. It tells you about when they found the Codex Sinaiticus. It just breaks stuff down. It just breaks stuff down. It shows you the scrolls, the paperwork. So that's one. Okay. So.
But what about this book, though?
What book? This book? This is a great book called Babylon, Mystery Religion, Ancient and Modern. So what this does is it breaks down the lies that the Roman Catholic Church set up and their religions and their beliefs that people believe in and follow. It breaks down about the cross. It breaks down about the obelisk in the front of St. Peter's in the Vatican. Okay. So I'm just going through shorts, how they set up the Vatican in Rome, based off the key, stuff like that. And I'm going to go back through this. Is the cross a Christian symbol? Is breaking that down. The Egyptians had the symbol of the cross. The false picture of the Vatican statue of St. Peter. St. Peter was not a white man, okay? So you have to know this stuff. But this book here, look at this man, the Pope being carried, okay? You have to know this stuff, man. You have to break this stuff down because you can't say you believe in the Bible and you don't understand nothing about the Bible, okay? You're just stuck on one thing. So this is a great book. Who printed it up? Okay, so just letting you know about that book. That's the second. I got like 8 books I want you all to check out.
Yeah, but I've been looking at this book for a minute. But what's this book about?
Okay, this is called the National Sunday Law. This book, it goes into history, and it tells you how the Roman Catholic Church changed the Sabbath day from Saturday to Sunday. That's what you follow now. That's what you do. Now it goes into the history. It goes into Daniel. It goes into the beast. It goes into the wars that made the world the way it is now. Matter of fact, let's go into that a little bit. I'm going to go right quick about the history. Okay. So let's look at that. Page 33 of this book. And they give them away free. Okay. Page 33. Again, the question is asked, which is the Sabbath day? Answer, Saturday is the Sabbath day. Why do we observe Sunday then instead of Saturday? We observe Sunday instead of Saturday because the Catholic Church in the Council of Laodicea, AD 364, transferred the solemnity from Saturday to Sunday. The Convert's Catechism of Catholic Doctrine, page 50, 3rd edition. See? So these is why we are doing things today in America based off of what they teach.
But I see a bunch of people on the cover of this book. What is this book about?
Good. This book is Who is Esau, Edom by Charles A. Wiseman. Now, Edomites are Caucasians or Europeans who have been converted into believing that they're the so-called Jews. Okay, that they're the people of God, that they're of the 12 tribes. So these are what you call Caucasians or Europeans. And this book breaks that down to some degree. So basically, as you see, they all look alike. Okay, as you see, they all look alike. So these are some of the books that's in my library.
Okay, but who is Zion? Learn about the elder of Zion.
This is the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. Very deep book. You can order this. Very deep book. This book here breaks down the culture of the American people and the American government and how these people went about to say, well, okay, about 60 years from now, we're going to break down this society, and this society shall not rule. We're going to set it up how we want to set it up. And that's what they have done and accomplished. And this book here by Victor E. Madsen explains exactly what is going down today, all the homosexuality, lesbianism, all the different things, the changing of culture. They had already planned it for it to go down.
All right, that's pretty interesting fact. But what about this book?
Okay, so this is Articles of the 13 Tribes. So I got to move faster. Good. So this here explains how the people who you think are the chosen people of the Lord are Caucasians, Europeans called so-called Jews. This tells you when they were converted into believing that they're the people of the Lord. So this gives you history, and you need this book for you to understand the Bible. Okay? So I'm going to just go straight to the page. All right? So when you go to this page here, listen to this well. This is page 16 and 17, and it's going to explain to you that these people are not the people of the Lord. Okay? So it says, how important in quantitative terms is the presence of the Caucasian sons of Japheth in the tents of Shem? And one of the most radical propounders of the hypothesis concerning the Khazar origins of Jewry is the professor of medieval Jewish history at Tel Aviv University, A.N. Polak. His book Khazaria in Hebrew was published in 1944 in Tel Aviv, and a second edition in 1951. In his introduction, he writes that the facts demand a new approach to both of the relations between the Khazar Jewry and other Jewish communities, and to the question of how far we can go in regarding this Khazar Jewry as the nucleus of large Jewish settlement in Eastern Europe. The descendants of this settlement who stayed and those that who immigrated to the United States and to other countries, and those who went to Israel, constitutes now the large majority of world Jewry. This was written before the full extent of the Holocaust was known, but that does not alter the fact that the large majority, listen well to what this book is about to tell you, okay, does not alter the fact that the large majority of surviving Jews in the world is of Eastern European and thus mainly of Khazar origin. If this would mean that their ancestors came not from the Jordan, but from the Volga, not from Canaan, but from the Caucasus, once believed to be the cradle of the Aryan race, and genetically they are more closely related to the Hun, Oiga, and Maiga tribes than to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So these people are converts into believing that they're the chosen people of the Lord. Now, what region did they come from? Here it is. Okay? Showing you facts why you must study. Okay? Showing you facts. See their empire? Showing you facts why you must study. Okay? So, reading the Bible alone, these books build you around the Bible. Okay? You say another one?
All right. That's actually a pretty good thing to know about the Jewish people, honestly, in my opinion.
Good.
But what is this book about?
So these are the people that you just read about from here. So when you go into the Bible now and you're reading about the 12 tribes, you think that it's these people. See that? So if you don't have these records, then you're going to end up believing in Ethiopia. And the Bible not speaking about that. So you must have one and one so that you can understand that this book here shows you who the people of the Lord is. How do we know that this book here by Rudolph R. Windsor? Now, these books build the Bible, what the Lord is talking about. Okay? So if you go into the book of, in this book, to page 83, in the year 65, so he said, well, why do I have all these books? Because this book here is going to expound to me what happened to us. In the year 65 BC, page 83, so you can see for yourself, highlight it out. You got to know how to go into these books and grab meat. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. Wait, if we fled into Africa, now the Bible doesn't show you these things. This is not Africa. See that? See that? This is not Africa. So these people are liars. These people now that say that they're the chosen who you think at. So without these books, you could not understand the truth of the Bible. That's why you need these records. This prophecy, it's been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. Listen to this well, and you tell me if these people match. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Does he look black to you? Does he look black? Come on, man. And it didn't say Ethiopians either. Good. So what is this book about? This is a historian, Rudolph R. Windsor. He wrote 2 books. Okay. Valley of the Dry Bones. He's breaking it down. History. Babylon, Timbuktu. He's breaking it down. History. Okay. You must know the past. Okay. You must know the past for you to understand the Bible. Remember Arthur J. Koestler, the 13th tribe. You need this. This is necessary. You need this book. Okay? Is there any more books, brother?
What about this book? I see in the cover there's 3 African Americans.
Okay. So this is a great book for you to understand Rasta and Resistance. Great book. This breaks down Jamaica, the slavery in Jamaica, what the slaves did, and how the slaves got hooked up with Rastafari, the resistance culture, Haile Selassie, Jomo Kenyatta, how they believed in Ethiopia, and Ethiopia don't believe in them. And this man, okay, breaks down the whole thing from Marcus Garvey to Walter Rodney. Great book, great book. It shows you how white corporations, even to this day, still have us in slavery. Like, there's a complex where people go and play sports in Brooklyn. I forgot the name of it, but it's run by a slave bank from out of England. See that? These things don't stop, man. So this is a great book, breaking down the whole Rastafarian religion, its lies, how it has nothing to do with the Bible. It breaks down Garvey. It breaks down the wars in Jamaica, and how the whole concept of Rastafarianism came into existence and has nothing to do with the Bible. Nothing. So you must study to show yourself approved. This ain't even a piece of my library that I'm pulling out right now. So when people hear me speak, it's not me daydreaming. I don't daydream about nothing, man. The Lord blessed me to read. I don't just, what's the last book?
This is the last book, and it says something about Egypt in the last 30 years of
Okay. So the Arabs invaded Africa. The Arabs being black and the Africans being black. The Arabs came from Shem. Actually coming out of Ishmael. Ishmael is the first son of Father Abraham, a black man. Okay? And that's easy to prove also from historical books. Okay? Let's look at this. From out of the same book, Babylon to Timbuktu, page 15. Let's read about black people. The people who resided in the lower part of the Tigris-Euphrates Valley were Ethiopian, black in complexion. We read in Genesis 10 verse 8 that Cush begat Nimrod. The word Cush means Ethiopia, and Cush was the father of the Ethiopians. The word Ethiopia comes from the Greeks. Okay? See that? Let's see Egypt. So this is a great book right here. This is a very great book. Very great. It breaks down all African history. So when the Arabs came into North Africa, they swept all the way across to Morocco. And then they swept up into Spain, and then they swept up all the way into France. They controlled Europe for over 500 years. So this book now explains the Arab invasion of Egypt and the last 30 years of Roman dominion. So white people was in Egypt. Okay? So you must sit down to read, man. You must sit down to read. So once again, I'm just showing you, when you see me teaching, where do I get my knowledge from of the past? Okay, everything is books. And this is a small, my library is vast on many different historical topics, vast. So just showing you can, go look it up yourself, pull up some of the books, buy them, and you need them. All right? With that, I say peace.